Good morning, children. How are you all? Hope you all might be fine and safe. So, today, children, in English, we will know about the finite and non finite verbs, which is given in Grammar and Usage of Chapter 5 before the match. So, today, we will know what are finite and non finite verbs and the difference between them. So, finite verbs. They are also called the limited verbs or the actual verbs. So, finite verbs, they are called as the limited verbs or the actual verbs. So, the verbs present in the sentence, which is the background of the sentence responsible for the tense formation. So, these verbs, they tell you that in which tense the sentence is. They have a definite relation with a subject or a noun of a sentence and are also changed accordingly to the noun. So, these verbs, what they have a definite relation with the subject. Like here you can see, he goes to school daily. So, what is the subject here? The subject is he. Now, what happens? The subject is he, then in which tense it is? It is in the present tense. He goes to school daily. Now this go. As you can see, the go has changed to goes. Okay, go has changed to goes. That means this, by seeing this sentence, we can understand that the sentence is in the present tense. Then the shop opens sharply at 9 a.m. The shop opens sharply at 9 a.m. So here the shop, that is in the singular form. Okay, in the singular form, with that we have used s. Okay, V1 verb in the singular form s, and that is in the present tense. He wakes up early in the morning. So with he, okay, with he, she, it. Okay, with he, she, it and singulars, with the verb we use s or es for the present tense. So here you can see that he and singular the shop we have used s for the present tense of the verb. Then she ran in the tournament and took first place. So she ran in the tournament. So this run has changed to ran according to the tense. So here the tense is past tense. Now I go to the gym regularly. So I go to the gym regularly. That is in the present tense. With I, we have used go. She offers me a cup of tea. He travels so long. We swam in the river for 3 hours. I love mountain climbing. Geneva brushes her teeth twice a day. She waters the plants. So here the tense verbs changes according to the tense. You'll understand that word. Now see. Verbs can broadly be divided into finite and non-finite verbs. So finite verbs are the verbs that change according to tense. So we have seen that the verbs, they have changed according to the tense. That is the time of action, like in the present tense, past tense or in the future tense. The number of people doing the action. So this verb, finite verbs, they also change according to the number of people doing the action. So there, if there is singular, okay, if the verb is in singular, then with the present tense we will use s or es with the verb, and if they are in the plural form we will remove s or es. Okay, or the person, the first person, second person or third person. So first person is what? First person is I and we, who is the speaker. Okay, with that what do we use? Like I go, there we have not used s or es. Then with we also we don't use with the verb s or es. Now second person is you, that means the listener. Okay, the listener who is listening. So there, second person is you, and there also we don't use s or es. And the third person are who? Third person are the person about whom we are talking in the sentence, like he, she, it, and plural form is they doing the action. So with he, she, it, we use s or es for the present tense, and with they we don't use. Okay, s or es in the present tense, and the past tense remains same for all. Now see here. Read the sentences given below. Shweta wrote a letter. Shweta writes a letter. Shweta will write a letter. Shweta is writing a letter. Now what we see? In the above sentences, the verb write changes according to the time of action. So it has changed according to the time of action. Like wrote. Wrote is what? Wrote is past tense. Okay, writes present tense, will write future tense, is writing present continuous tense. Okay, so this verb write has changed according to the time of action, according to the tense. Now read these sentences. Shweta writes a letter. Shweta and Richa write a letter. Now see, singular plural. Shweta writes a letter. With Shweta we have used s form of the verb. Okay, and Sweta is singular. Now Sweta and Richa write a letter. So what is that? That is a plural form, more than one person. Sweta and Richa. So what we have done? Remove S. So you see the verb change in the verb. Writes and write. So see, in the above sentences, the verb writes changes to the number of people doing the action. Okay, understood this much? Now in sentence 1, a single person does the action. So the verb in is writes. In second, two persons do the action. So the verb used is write. Now read these sentences. I write a letter. Pronoun I is the first person. You write a letter. Pronoun you is the second person. Okay. Now she writes a letter. Pronoun she is in the third person. As I told you, I. So here what we see? Write, write. So with the first person, second person, we have used the word write, the verb write. So in the above sentences, the verb write changes according to the pronoun used as a subject. Okay. Now read these sentences. I play cricket. I played cricket. I am playing cricket. He is playing cricket. He was playing cricket. Now I think till here you might have understood. You can clearly see that the verb play changes to the tense. According to the tense, it changes number of people doing the action and the person of the, that is pronoun of the subject. So the verbs are colored are finite verbs. So what is the definition of finite verb? The finite verb changes according to the number of persons and according to the tense. As here you can see, it has changed with I, he, and with the tense also, like I play, present tense, I played, past tense, I am playing, present continuous, he is playing, present continuous, he was playing, past continuous. So play has changed its form according to the person and the tense. So that is finite verbs. So finite verbs, what they do, they change their form according to the person and tense. Now, non-finite verb. So, non-finite verb is derived from a word but has no subject and therefore is not limited by the number and person of any noun or pronoun. Like she likes dancing, I like reading books, he liked reading books, you like dancing, they like dancing. Now see, here the colored words are not non-finite verbs. Understood? So don't be confused. Here the non-finite verbs are dancing, okay, dancing and reading. Like ing form, like she likes dancing, I like dancing, you like dancing, they like dancing, everyone likes dancing. So what happens here? The non-finite verb is dancing, which does not change according to the number of person or according to the tense. Okay, I reading, I like reading, you like reading, they like reading, we like reading, everyone likes reading. So there also reading has not changed its form. So that is non-finite verb which does not change its verb. Here like and like this, what is that? That is finite verb. Now see, a verb whose meaning is not limited by subject, person, number. So what are they? They are non-finite verbs. Okay, they are non-finite verbs. So in non-finite verbs, we are going to read about, there are three kinds of non-finite verbs. We are going to read about infinitive, gerund, present participle or the past participle. Okay, let us see. With example, okay. They like to play football. He likes to play football. She is playing football. He was playing football. They always like to play football. Now see here. What are non-finite verbs? Here the non-finite verbs are to play and playing. Okay, to play and playing. So to play is infinitive. When we use to with the verb, that is infinitive, and ing form. Ing form can be present participle or gerund. We will know about that. Okay, let us see. The verb play doesn't have any subject. So here the verb play, it doesn't have any subject. Now what has subject? Here in the first sentence, the verb like has subject. Okay, here there are two verbs, children. Remember, there are two verbs. First one is like, that is the main verb, and to is a mm, another. To is the non-finite verb. Okay, that is non-finite verb, and like is a finite verb. So they like to play football. He likes to play football. Here in the second sentence, likes is what? Likes is a finite verb which has changed with he. Okay, and to play remains the same with C. With they also to play, with he also to play. Okay, so this to play has not changed. So that is non-finite verb. Like he, she is playing, he was playing, is playing is what? Uh, is what? Present tense. Was is present tense, sorry, past tense. And in that playing is what? Playing is this non-finite verb which does not change. So see, the verb play isn't limited by the number, uh, person of the subject, number or the person of the subject, that is first person, second person, third person, and it isn't limited by the tense of the sentence. So it is not limited by the tense, that in which tense it is. Present participle: stealing, laughing, moving, rising, seeing. Then what is that? Playing, seeing, considering, being, stealing. Okay, we will see this, how to understand about participles, infinitives and gerunds. So participles, in this you have two. Past participle, a penny saved is a penny earned. Then present, the smell of baking cookies drove us mad. So here, what are the past participles in this? Saved and earned are the past participles which does not change with the uh, subject. Okay, it does not change with the subject or with the tense. Then present is the smell of baking cookies drove us mad. So there also ing form. Then infinitives: Betty likes to dance. Gerunds: fishing is a lovely activity for a summer day. Okay, we will understand this in that. So non-finite verbs, they have been divided into three. Infinitive, which is used with to verb. Okay, to plus verb. Then gerund, ing form of the verb, and this gerund functions as like a noun. So in that sentence I have not made you understand. Now I'll make you understand about that bit. So gerund, it is ing form of the verb which functions as a noun in a sentence. Okay, as a noun in a sentence, we'll see. Then participles. So participles is also ing form of the verb which functions like an adjective. So see, here gerund, it is functioning like a noun, but participles, they function as an adjective. They both have ing form. So don't be confused with that. So how you will find out? So infinitive, let us see first. To plus verb or only base form of the verb which has the function of a noun is called infinitive. So to play cricket is interesting. I can perform prayer. So here What is infinitive? The second one is bare infinitive, which is without to. Okay, and the first one is with to, and that is to infinitive. To play cricket is interesting. There we have used to plus verb. Okay, to plus verb. So infinitive is a non-finite and the first form of the verb which is used with or without to. As you have seen in this sentence, to play cricket is interesting and I can perform prayer. So here first we have used with to. In the first sentence we have used to, and in the second sentence we have not used to. So infinitive form of learn, that will become to learn. Okay, and then give will become to give. So when you see in the sentence to learn means the verb with to, then you should understand that that is the infinitive. Okay, and non-finite verb. Then to give, now they want to go now, he forgot to call her. Now what are infinitives here? Here the infinitives are to go in the first sentence and to call in the second sentence, and that are non-finite verbs. Okay, remember that. The infinitive is used after certain verbs, adjectives, and nouns. Verb plus infinitive. They hope to reach the party on time. So here, the main verb is hope and the non-finite verb is to reach. Okay. So here, they hope to reach the party on time. So you will say that infinitive is to reach. Now I want to try the new ice cream flavor. So want is the verb and to try is the non-finite verb, and that is an infinitive. Okay. Then I am happy to hear you are well. So here this is I am happy. Happy, you know that that is an adjective, and with that we have used infinitive to hear. Then she is delighted to see him. Now I have got some homework to do. Now homework, that is a name. So that is a noun, and with noun we have used infinitive to do. So see how to use the infinitive and in the sentence how these are used. Now we will know about the gerund. So what are gerunds? A gerund is a word that acts as a noun and ends in ing. A gerund can be used as a subject, object or complement in a sentence. All gerunds end in ing, but not all words that end in ing are gerunds. Okay? So what we have seen, that all the gerunds they end in ing, but all the ing words are not gerund. They can be the main verb also, like the gerund form of jump is jumping, while gerund form of read is reading. So gerund can be used as a subject, that means it can be in the present in the first also. You can, like swimming is a good exercise. In this, what is a gerund? The gerund is swimming. Okay, and that you have seen that in this swimming is used as what? Swimming is used as a subject. Okay, swimming is a good exercise, that is the subject in this sentence, and that is gerund, ing form of swim. Okay, let us see. A gerund is a verb in its ing, that is present participle form, that functions as a noun that names an activity rather than a person or thing. So this gerund will name an activity like swimming, running. That is those are what? Those are the activity done. So any action verb can be made into a gerund. So any action verb can be made into gerund. That is activities can be made into gerund by doing what? How can we make that? By adding ing. And that is also called verbing. Verbing means verb plus ing. So play plus ing. Play is a verb. Add ing. That will become a gerund. Cry. Cry plus ing. That will become gerund. Crying. Okay, so that is called verbing. The gerund is verb plus ing, used to describe behaviors, hobbies, interests, activities like jogging, cycling, cooking. Then acts as a noun. See, jogging is good for health. In this, jogging is what? Jogging is a subject, that is used as a noun. How can we say that this is a noun? Like, see what happens in this. We can say that jogging is a noun because it is used as the subject. Okay, instead of name we have taken jogging, so that becomes a noun, used as a noun. Then Poco likes cooking on weekends. So that is the object of the verb. Object, as you know, subject, verb, object. The here subject is Poco, and then uh, verb is what? Verb is likes, and object is what? Cooking. Now Lulu is good at playing the guitar. So object of preposition. So what is preposition here? Preposition is at, and object of preposition is playing. After that you have ing form. So here gerund can be used as object of preposition. Now we will know about the participle. So we have done about the infinitives, we have done about the gerunds. Now we will do about the participle. A participle is a form that is used in a sentence to modify a noun phrase, verb or verb phrase, and then plays a role similar to an adjective or adverb. It is one of the types of non-finite verbs. I'll explain you. The two types of participle in English are traditionally called present participle, such as writing, singing, raising, and the past participle, forms such as written, sung, and raised. Okay, we'll understand that. What is participle? So, participle, it is not the main verb in the sentence. Okay, participles are not the main verb in the sentence. It doesn't function as the verb in the sentence. It functions as an adjective in the sentence. How see? I really like this dancing doll. So, what is the main verb in this sentence? The main verb is like. And dancing is what? Dancing is the participle in the present participle, verb plus ing, used as an adjective. Why this is used as, how this is used as an adjective? Dancing doll. Okay, dancing doll. So that is what? Which type of doll that is? What type of doll? Dancing doll. That means it is describing the doll. So dancing becomes what? Dancing becomes an adjective. So here this is used as the participle, present participles. He jumped from a running train. He jumped from a running train. So here the main verb is jumped, and running is present participle. Okay, running is present participle, ing form, and that is used as an adjective. Which type of train or what type of train he jumped from? He jumped from a running train. So that is describing the train. So that is an adjective. Okay, used as an adjective, and that is present participle. He sold his working machine. So he sold his working machine. Sold is the main verb. Okay, working is used as an adjective describing the machine, how the machine was. The machine was working. And present participle, why we are saying? Now you will think, okay miss, in all the sentences you are saying jumped, sold, then how this is present participle? So present participle, that means ing form when we take, and that describes the adjective, then that becomes the present participle. In past participle we will see how to use. See, here, past participle also behaves like an adjective. Okay, the broken glass cut my foot. Now, broken glass, okay. This is an adjective, used as an adjective. How? See, broken, first of all, broken is what? Broken is a verb, you can understand. But now this is acting as an adjective. Why? Because it is describing the glass. Which type of glass that is? That is the broken glass. Main verb cut. Okay, so that is past participle. Then the burned toast tasted awful. So the burned toast, here past, ed form, en form of the verb. Okay children, ed or en form of the verb, that shows you about the past participle. Okay, so burned toast, ed form as you see, and the main verb is tasted. The tired person can't be productive. So tired person, here the past participle is tired. Okay. Describing which type of person used doesn't like an adjective, tired. And can't, here can't is used as a main verb. Can't be productive. Okay, past participle, then main verb. So what we have seen, children, the difference between finite and non-finite verb. Let us revise once more. Finite verbs acts as a main verb and can be changed according to the noun, used only in the present and past tense, can be indicative of active or passive, and also like walked home, walks home, she walked home. Here we can see how the verb change in example, the change the tense of the sentence. We have seen, you promised me the last ticket. I am excited. I went for a walk around the park. She was waiting. Does your brother know my brother? We want John to act as club secretary. So here you will find that the verb changes according to the tense, okay, or the number of person. Then non-finite verb, they do not change their form. They remain as it is. They can be used as noun, they can be used as adverb, they can be used as an adjective. Like here, gerunds, infinitives and participles we have done. So gerunds, do you fancy going out? Here, what is gerund here? Going is the uh, gerund. I like swimming. Swimming is the gerund. We enjoyed their singing. Here, the singing is used as a noun. So infinitives, I decided not to go to New York. I'd rather not eat meal. I might not come. The man carrying the bricks is my father. Participles. She showed us a plate of scones crammed with cream. So here you have the participles and the infinitives. So properties of finite verbs. They are near the subject. They change with tense. They change with singular and plural subjects. They change according to first person, second person and third person. He works, he worked, simple present and simple past tense. Then I love food, I agrees with the word love. Then word Kevin agrees with the word loves. So I love food, Kevin loves food. You see the change in the verb. Works, worked, that is about the finite. The non-finite, what is your hobby? My hobby is to collect stamps. Why did you choose this hobby? See, this is the presentation and showing conversation. It gives me pleasure to collect stamps from different countries. So see, here in the first you have seen infinitives like to collect, and in the second also you see to collect. You can find out the non-finite verbs. A verb may be finite or non-finite. A verb is said to be finite when tense and number affect it. It's not finite when tense or number doesn't affect it. So see, what is your hobby? The verb is response to change in number. Okay. Now what are your hobbies? See, here is are has changed with the number. The hobby and hobbies. Like what was your hobby? So we say that it's a finite verb because it has changed according to the verb. Now my hobby is to collect a stamp. My hobby was to collect a stamp. Now here see, what is the verb? Here the verb is to collect, and that is infinite verb which has not changed. Not finite, that has not changed. Infinitives. The verb to collect doesn't respond to change in number or tense. So it's a non-finite verb. So we have done about the finite and non-finite verb. You can learn it and revise and see and understand. We have done about the gerunds, we have done about the participles, we have done about the infinitives, non-finite or the finite verbs. So participle is a verb form that is usually formed by adding the suffixes ing or ed to the base form. So ing, when it is used, that means that is the present participle. Ed, that means that is the past participle, ed or en. Okay, thank you children. Revise it very nicely. Have a good day.